Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video of the mysterious and unknown. We try to figure these things out over here, but sometimes they stump us, even though we analyze these videos and photos over here every single day. We're going to analyze one video in particular. Actually, I take that back. Four. I've got four unique, one from last night, one from the night before. Mysterious things in the nighttime sky, loud and clear. Thank you, Gazabo. What's up, AZ Watchwoman, Dread, Aaron, Joe? Thanks for coming back, everybody. Making sure the connection is good, loud and clear before we get started. Everybody can hear me okay? The viewer was legitimately shocked, as you're going to see in this video. I was actually shocked too, and I've seen thousands, probably tens of thousands of videos over the years. This was a first, at least for me, and I've taken my time analyzing this thing, and I cannot I can't figure out what we're dealing with here. So stick around, you guys are going to see something quite unique. Here's part of it. Is this thing something from an interdimensional space that we're not aware of? Was this some sort of a portal? You're going to hear the witness talk about this thing in person. Also in this video, as promised, I've been updating now for the last 3 days. Today is no different. Tomorrow, I'll update too. There are no active storms, at least to talk about. There is a storm right up here in the middle of the north central Atlantic, but it's not going to do anything. It's not going to be an issue to anybody along the coastlines of any country, so I'm not even going to bring it up. It's just a little bitty disturbance. May or may not turn into a tropical storm. At very best, it'll probably be in the tropical or subtropical storm range. Las Vegas in the house. Piper Lynn, what's going on, everybody? Amber from Indiana. Philly, Fred C. What's up, Philly? Okay, guys, we're going to start off with a sky full of rogue lights. Not only one light or sky, and not only one light, you're going to see several. 3 different skies, 3 different nights, and it looks like people may have seen the same type of activity from different places around the world. Here we go. We're going to Johnson City, Tennessee. Tennessee's been a hot spot for a lot of things here recently. The mysterious malfunctioning lights. I've gotten a video out of Memphis, actually 4 videos out of Memphis from the same person of long stretches of highway lights flashing on both sides of the highway for miles out of Memphis, Tennessee. And those go back to January. This is Melody S. looking at mysterious lights in the nighttime sky. What's up, Ohms? O-M-S. Thank you, Ohms. Check it out. Did you guys see that? The viewer said that whatever we're looking at here, and yes, I did brighten it up a little bit. That's why it's kind of red right there. Thank you, Ohms, for the super stickers. That's really cool. So you can see these 2 lights here that nearly collided. One more time. Here we go. Check it out. And this is in fast forward, by the way. Not much, just a little bit for presentation purposes. This was in a very rural area, and the viewer said they weren't drones. You're going to see more. We're just getting started. These weren't satellites. They were moving at such odd angles, and they're not part of a bigger Starlink satellite train. These were rogue lights that were appeared to be in deep space. Here comes another one right here. Check it out. These aren't drones, guys. These aren't airplanes or helicopters. So what are we looking at here? And sometimes I'll get these videos and I'll save them. Here come 2 more traveling together, tandem. Here comes another one right behind it. And they're traveling at different speeds, different angles. So they're definitely not part of a Starlink satellite train. There's just no way. The reason it looked red right there, hold on, let me back it up just a little bit. Okay, that redness is because what I did, I enhanced the light so you could see the light a little bit better. Here we go, continuing on. Actually, I've got more than this. This is 1 of 3. Turn your volume up. You got it. Let me turn it up just a little bit. Here we go. Let me find it real quick. I can do that. I think I can do that. Check. Is that better? Or is that too loud? This thing is a little bit finicky at times. Depends on the day. Depends on what we got going on. Sorry about that. Let me get you back to what we got going on here. Okay. Here is another video here. Ah, yeah. This is a really good one right here. Greetings, Earthlings. Volume is good here. All right. Thank you, Berlinda. Appreciate that. The volume can be... I don't know why, and I think it's on some people's devices, because whenever I edit a video over here, to be honest with you guys, after I do the video, I have to turn the volume down. It's so loud, so don't know what to tell. Oh, bad echo. I can fix that. Sorry, my bad. And I know why there's a bad echo. How about now? There we go. Should be problem solved. No more echoes. No more echoes, right? No echoes? No echoes. All right, cool. Echo should be gone. No, it's not your device. That was definitely my echo. I'm sorry about that. Good. All right. Thank you, guys. Here we go. Continuing on with the mysterious lights in the nighttime sky, taking you guys to Wickenburg, Arizona. North of me, Ryan Sims. Check this out. What do you guys think this is? They're coming in from opposite directions. Coming in from the east, coming in from the west. I believe he's looking to the north. All right, thank you guys. No echo. Yay, that's cool. All right. Like I said, it just depends on the day. Sometimes the volume is absolutely perfect. Sometimes it can be, I don't know why. Maybe it's got something to do with solar maximum. Did you see that? This is what the man saw. I got it in original speed, so that's why I speed it up sometimes, because sometimes in original speed, these lights in the sky are a little difficult to see. Notice over here on the right and left, you've got two objects that appear to be going towards each other. And then there's going to be one appear out of nowhere. Let me speed it up. Let me give you guys a little better view. We're going to zoom in on the one on the left. What is this thing we're looking at? There's a good view of it, huh? Up close and personal. What is that thing? You can't make this stuff up. He was totally shocked. He'd never seen anything like it. Now we're going to zoom into the one on the right. Here we go. It looks like a carbon copy of the one we just saw on the left. Just kind of rotating through the sky. What? And those aren't military flares, and I'll tell you why. And I know all of you guys have seen military flares. Military flares always have smoke, and it's a lot of smoke, to be honest with you. These have no smoke. And they're very controlled, as if they're under intelligent control. Like maybe, just maybe, they're attached to something larger, huh? You never know. I tried to lighten this one up, but I took it back to its original format. In fact, this is original. I just kind of zoomed in and I put it in fast forward, like 30%. But those were quite cool. Those were right out here in Arizona, not too far from Nellis Air Force Base. Johnson, Tennessee, this one here we just saw, so I'm going to step this one fast forward. I'm going to take you guys to Power Up, Nevada, just up the road from Wickenburg, where we were just at. Jen Jones from 6/20/2025. Check this out. This is crazy. She saw this blue. There's 4 things going on here, by the way. We're going to zoom in on them. A couple of them are very deep space. Look at that. Big blue light just traveling through the sky. Again, you can't make this stuff up. This is the original video, exactly how she sent it to me. And she just shared it with me today. You saw one there climbing up. You saw one over here on the right climbing up. But what I'm going to do here, let me take it back for just a second. I'm going to zoom in on the one that's the farthest away. This thing, I'm pretty certain it was outside the atmosphere, okay? That's as close as I can get. I think it's outside the atmosphere, this one right here. Look at that. Can you see it? Let me brighten it up just a little bit, just in case you can't. There we go. Let me back it up. This thing is in, I'm pretty sure it's in deep space, whatever we got going on here. That's not a typical satellite. It's kind of dim. She's got an excellent camera that pulled in the light from that thing. That was a long was away. And if you look, it went behind that star right there. See that? At least it looks like it did. Maybe it didn't, but it looks like to me it could have went behind that star, or the light just disappeared in front of the brighter star. But that was a long ways away, and I'm pretty certain that was not even inside the atmosphere. That was an excellent catch. Here's the large blue object. Are you serious right now? Not blinking, didn't make any noise. If I had to speculate, I would say this thing was somewhere in the neighborhood of 40,000, 45,000 feet. Super quiet, no wings, no tail fin, no propellers, just a random blue light. And what she does, she takes her camera, and she's obviously got an excellent night sky. Unlike, where we're at here, we've got, I would say, below average. We can see a decent part of the nighttime sky, but the light pollution here just, takes all the fun out of it. But every once in a while, we'll see things too, and we're not even looking. What she does, she takes her camera, positions it on the nighttime sky, and just lets it run. And every once in a while, she'll pick up something kind of cool. And this is one of those times where something kind of cool came into the field of view. Right there. She wasn't expecting that. She wasn't looking for anything. She was just letting the camera record. And that showed up out of nowhere. Again, you can't make this stuff up. It happened. It happened just a few nights ago. That was spotted from Nevada. Now we're going to go to the left-hand side. I think this was inside the atmosphere. And if you look real close, it's got a little bit of color, whatever it may be. It looks too big to be a typical satellite. You can go outside, especially right after dark, around 30 minutes after dark, after the sunset. Once it sunsets, once it gets dark, you can see satellites moving through the nighttime sky. This is a little bit too big to be a satellite. It seems to be under its own control. It's not like some balloon drifting through the nighttime sky. It's under intelligent control at that. And it does appear to have some sort of I don't know, you can see it kind of changing colors maybe a little bit. Maybe it's an atmospheric phenomena. But that was over on the left-hand side of the blue orb. You saw the one come down the center. This one over here was on the right-hand side. It was a little higher, way up there. I would say this was probably above 50,000 feet. A little dimmer, but it's got the same type of color to it. And satellites don't typically have color. So multiple mysterious objects spotted at around the same time. All of that activity occurred in the same 2 or 3 minutes. 24 hours earlier, June 19th, Bobby noticed this cruising through the nighttime sky, and he was pointing a laser at that. And then look what come in from the top. Let me back it up just in case you didn't see it. Not only one, but there's one down here at the bottom too. Lower left, upper left. 2 objects come out of nowhere at a high rate of speed. See them? And those aren't airplanes or helicopters. I don't recommend pointing green lasers at things in the nighttime sky, simply because if it's an airplane, it could be problematic for the pilots. So I know he probably knew it wasn't an airplane, and it definitely doesn't look like an airplane. What was that thing? But yeah, you probably shouldn't point lasers at lights in the sky, just in case it's a plane. That's not a plane, some sort of a rogue light, kind of like the blue light that we just saw. But this one's all white. What was it doing? This was, look at that, look at how bright it got. That's not a fireball, a bolide, anything like that. Let me slow it down. It got real bright right there. And then just kind of very, very quickly, this thing was moving fast through the nighttime sky. And right there, as it disappeared, notice the activity underneath it. Watch. Watch underneath it, left to right. Right there. See it? Another one of those mysterious small objects at a very high altitude. Even though it was low on the horizon, it was still a very, very long ways away. Here we go, guys. This is something that I found very, very bizarre. Sent in by a young lady that had no idea what she was looking at. And she lives in this area and had never seen anything like it. Where's the video? Did I put it on my desktop? I know I did, right? I'm sure of it. There's hurricanes, lights. But I got it right over here. Not a problem. Oh, here it is. Bada bing. There's the video. I keep it over there on the other monitor to keep things organized, or at least I try to. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Is this some sort of interdimensional
Look at that streak across the sky.
storm?
It's 2:48 in the morning.
Let me let you listen to the viewer that saw this thing. 2:48 in the morning, Park Merced, California. Check this out.
48 in the morning. What the is that? This is a long streak across the sky here at 2:48 a.m. I'm just getting home from my gig at Swig. And I noticed this up in the sky. I'm like, I ain't never seen nothing like that. No rainbow, nothing like that in the sky at night. In the early morning, wee hours of the morning. What the f is that? Okay, y'all.
She was very taken back by that.
Tell me what's going on.
And she
I
lives
ain't
there.
never seen nothing like that. Okay, y'all? Okay, let me walk back to my car and get my home. But yeah, that's what's going on in the night sky here. I hear Parker said early in the morning. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I got that on film. What the f is that?
Like I said, she was quite taken back by that. And again, she lives there and had never seen anything like it. And it was swirling. It was spiraling. That's what I'm looking for. As it was, as you can see, going across the sky, it was spiraling as if it was coming through the atmosphere. And this wasn't any type of aurora. There weren't any geomagnetic storms on this night. I don't know what we've got going on there. Some sort of interdimensional light, maybe entering a portal, visible only briefly. She happened to see it, was in the right place at the right time. Doesn't appear to be man-made. It's up there in the clouds. It's kind of broiling through the clouds. I've looked at this over and over and over again, and I know in Sacramento they have that, and you guys have probably all heard of it, that purple beam after the Sacramento Kings basketball team, when they win a game, they turn on this purple light beam that goes straight up into the sky. Well, this isn't obviously going straight up into the sky, and they do it after basketball games, not at 2:48 in the morning. If they win a home game, they turn the purple beam on that goes up, and it's normally at 9, 10 o'clock, 10:30. This is something entirely different, kind of broiling, spiraling through the sky. It's kind of a ominous-looking feature in the sky, but at the same time, it's actually quite beautiful. The colors almost looks like some sort of a rainbow that's kind of at a slight angle. Appears to be originating from right to left. I don't know. Very unusual indeed. A young lady just got home around 3 o'clock in the morning and saw that in the nighttime sky. Very, very cool indeed. What else do I have for you guys today? Coming over here to the home page of the website. If you guys haven't checked out the website, by all means do so. I've got a lot of interesting information over here if you like to keep up with the Earth and the sun and power outages and the Schumann resonance and things like that. I touch on in each video a few of the topics that you see here, but there's a whole other row of things down here you can check on: the UV, the SO2 and CO2, near-Earth asteroids, live earthquake map, today's feature photo. I change photos on here every day typically. Kathleen B. out of Southeast Wisconsin. Look at that. That is cool. That was in broad daylight, not in the middle of the night, and that wasn't moving. That's just an atmospheric phenomenon that occurs every once in a while when the sun angle is just right, and the atmospheric particulates on the tops of the clouds, and the clouds have to be a certain height, that will sometimes show up depending on the time of year. Looking at the GOES X-ray flux over here at the Space Weather Prediction Center, as you can see, all quiet the last 72 hours. No incoming CMEs or storms to talk about. Even looking at the planetary K-index, all quiet the last 72 hours. But that is subject to change as we are looking right down the middle of a gigantic coronal hole. Coronal holes are holes in the sun's atmosphere. The sun has many layers of atmosphere, just like the Earth. When that atmosphere is absent, it looks like this. So basically what you're looking at here is the surface of the sun. The raw power coming off the sun, unfiltered, coming directly at you and me. So when it comes towards us, and of course the Earth, deflects it all, and we see geomagnetic storms sometimes, so we could see a storm from this, a surprise storm. You never know. But that energy coming off the surface of the sun is unfiltered, and that's what a coronal hole is. That's a big one. That's probably 400,000 miles wide. Here's looking at the Earth-facing side of the sun. You can see some sunspots below the equator. That's kind of rare, not uncommon, not super uncommon, but a little bit rare to see that many sunspots below the equator. The equator is right there. So any activity more than likely coming from these active regions and sunspots will miss the Earth. Even though they're Earth directed, they won't come directly at the Earth, they'll go below the Earth. I've seen this many, many times. I've seen huge sunspots down here, not very often. Again, it's kind of rare. They're usually at the equator or above, but in the general vicinity of the equator. That's just a collection of small ones. But if there were any activity from those, they probably would not interact with the Earth. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera. Check it out. Once again, another day of this bizarre activity. I'm beginning to wonder. In fact, I may send them an email. In fact, I will. I'll send them an email and see if they know what's going on, because this is starting to look pretty ominous. This is a seismograph. This is what seismographs normally look like, okay? They normally look like this. They're showing you small amounts of rogue energy that shows up in the form of a little blip on the radar, if you will, like that, okay? And that's a pretty long sequence of energy patterns showing up for about 4 hours there. And then you've got some random ones down here, very sporadic. This is highly unusual. It's showing that the ground is doing this very slowly. I mean, it looks like it's fast, but it's not. Very slow. Look at the angle there, like something was being dragging across the seismograph diagonally. So if this is indeed real, if this is actually going on along the northern edge of the caldera, there's something brewing up there. If we take this literally, and at this point we have to. Everything else, is fairly normal. I mean, you see the dark blue, that represents magma intrusion. And that means there's magma on the move, and I would expect that. It's a supervolcano, right? Old Faithful, for some reason, there's an absence of data. So that could be a glitch. I'm assuming it's possibly a glitch, because it's been like that now for the better part of a week. But I'll send them an email and see what they say. Maybe they don't know. I don't know. I've never done that, but we're going to find out if they'll get the email. Coming over here to the power outage situation, we still have we got 13,000 in Minnesota, off the grid, 13,000 in Pennsylvania, off the grid, 34,500 in New York, off the grid due to inclement weather. So I think for the most part, today's pretty quiet. There's a little bit of storm activity starting to brew right now. So if you're in the Central Plains, it looks like, you can see it behind me. Yeah, right there. North Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, up into Iowa. Storms are starting to brew, but all I'm going to be focusing on this year, guys, is hurricanes. I'll keep you updated if there's any hurricanes coming towards land. I'm not going to focus my time and energy on hurricanes that aren't coming towards land, because they're not going to affect you or me or anybody else, so we're going to save our energy for other things. So today, no hurricane activity that we really need to be concerned with. There is a small one way out in the middle of the north central Atlantic, but it's so small it barely shows up on the radar. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. We're going to do another one tomorrow, so stick around for that, or not stick around, but be ready for that. We'll do it again around 2:30, 3 o'clock, probably more like the 2:30 range, and I got some more interesting things that we're going to talk about tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a super day, and be safe out there.